Packethacks.com presents your host, the alpha male of TCPIP, Huckleberry.
Hi, Huckleberry here, and welcome to Google Search Tricks. Now, most of us use Google to search for all kinds of things every day, yet we could learn to search in a much more efficient way simply by learning a few tricks, or what Google calls operands. The nice thing is that these tricks are so easy to learn. After watching this short video, whenever you use Google in the future, you will be able to search more easily and find exactly what you're looking for more quickly. So let's get started. Imagine that we want to search for learn crucial skills in big demand. Let's see what we get. Okay, so if we look at this first one here, it says learn crucial skills, high demand. So you can, and if we can look at another one down, this is the next one down, it's going to be the same thing. Here's learn, here's skills, here's important. Now the first one is a better match, but you see what it's trying to do. It's actually just taking any of those words, and if they appear anywhere, then it gives you a result. Now, let's see what happens if we put quotes around it. So we take the same thing. This time, we put quotes around it. So what that tells it to do is to search for the exact phrase. So let's search and see what happens. Interesting. We only get one website. Let's look at that website. There. Okay. So if we look at this website, which just so happens to be my own website, here it is. Learn crucial skills in big demand. So it found the exact phrase. So the next trick we're going to learn here is how to eliminate words or exclude words by putting a dash in front of them. So you see that we just looked up Toyota, and what did that show us? It showed us the first result is actually a dealer. Several dealers here. Okay, so supposing that we're interested in Toyotas, but we're not interested in seeing any dealers. So we could modify that search. Remember, here's like 3 dealers right here. Let's say we're not interested in dealers, and we just put minus, so we put minus dealers in front. And we search again. Now what we find is that all disappeared. It doesn't show us any dealers anymore. Now here's an interesting one. It also it showed us here that YouTube. So supposing for whatever reason we're not interested in any YouTube videos, we just want to see Toyota stuff, no dealers, no YouTube. So we can put minus YouTube. Search again, and we're going to get the same thing, but this time it took the YouTube away. So I'm going to show you another thing here. If we go back and we just search for dealer, okay, so what you can see is that they put ads in. See, it says ad on it. And if we search for something else, you'll also see there are ads. Let's search for Ford. Here, Ford, that's an ad right there. It comes out right on top. So what does that mean that it's an ad? It means that Ford paid Google for that to appear there. Now below that are what you call organic results. That means that Google is giving you those results because they think those, according to their algorithm, that those results are the best for what you're searching for. So in general, I don't click on ads because I know they're paid for. I want to see, I'm going to trust Google to give me the best information and choose those. Next trick we look at is using the cite command. So as you can see here, we have Camus, which is the French author Camus, then cite, followed by a colon and the word Amazon.com. So let's notice, first of all, that there is no space between the colon and the Amazon.com. If you put a space there, the command will not work. So what we're searching for here is the word Camus anywhere on the site Amazon? So let's see what it gives you. Okay, so here, Amazon.com, Albert Camus books. So that's why we would enter this in. We want to see the books that Albert Camus wrote that are sold on Amazon. So I click on that, and here I can buy the book The Fall or The Stranger or whatever, any of those books that Camus wrote. Here's a second example of using the cite operand, as they call it. So here we have 2012 infinity in quotes, so meaning it's going to search that as a whole term, not the individual words, followed by a space, then the word cite, colon, no space, kbb.com. So what we're looking for is all 2012 infinities that are on the car site, kellybluebook.com. So let's see what it shows. Here we go. So here's our ads, first of all. So look at the ad. Here is CarMax. So it gave us an infinity on CarMax, even though we said only show us infinities that are on the Kelley Blue Book. So if we go past the ads and you go down to the first organic results, you get exactly what you want. Here's a 2012 infinity on the Kelley Blue Book site, and they're pretty much all the same. So we can choose any of them. And let's see what we get. Okay, so we enter our zip code. And here we go. Here's 2012 infinity on Kelley Blue Book. The next tip that we'll look at is the link operand. So here you see that we are searching for, we have link with a colon and then skillfeed.com. So what this is going to do is it's going to show us all the links from other websites that if you click on those will bring you to skillfeed.com. So let's take a look and see how that's useful. We do a search, and if we look right here, these first three are internal links. It's actually a link that's on SkillFeed leading to somewhere else on SkillFeed, which is less what we're really looking for. But if we look right here, here's a Facebook page that's pointing towards SkillFeed. So if we wanted to see what other websites are linking to SkillFeed, then we can see that here. So let's look at SkillFeed Reviews Deltina U. Now I know that Deltina is actually an instructor that's on SkillFeed. So somewhere on this page, and I'm not sure where, but here's Deltina's page. Somewhere on this page is a link, that you would click, and if you clicked on it, it would bring you over to somewhere on the SkillFeed site, and I would assume it's over to Deltina's courses on that site. And here we see a second example of the link operand. So here we're going to see all links on all websites that lead over to the lumosity.com website. If you haven't seen that website, that's a pretty cool website. You play these little games on it, and supposedly it improves your brain power. So let's have a look. Okay, so what we see here is most of these are internal links, but here is SiteJabber. SiteJabber has a link going over to Lumosity. So if we look here, we got a Lumosity review, which is exactly the sort of thing that we're looking for. That's why you look up links. That's why you use the link operand. Now, if you go back here, if you see that, look how many pages of links there are. See? So there are literally thousands of links going to Lumosity. What does that tell you? That Lumosity is a pretty popular site. If you looked at some very small news site, there would be very few links going to it. Okay, the next trick is one that I think is really useful. It's the related operand. So what this shows me here, I have related, no space again, colon, and Amazon.com. So what this is going to do is it's going to find other websites that are similar to Amazon.com. So supposing I'm used to buying books on Amazon.com, but I want to see what other bookstores I could possibly buy from. So let's see. So I do a Google search, and here we go. You got Barnes & Nobles. That's another bookstore. Here's something called BookSpot, Powell's.com. Here's a Libris. I never heard of them, but used books. So what this is going to tell us is it's going to give us all other websites that are similar to Amazon.com, and since Amazon.com sells books and things, it'll give you other websites that do that. Here's a second example using the related operand. So we say related monster.com. So if you know monster.com, that's a very popular job search site. So supposing you wanted to know other sites that was similar to monster.com that you could search for jobs for. So you would search it this way. Let's see. Here we go. So we have Indeed.com, CareerBuilder.com, Employment Guide, Job Search USA. So you get exactly what you would expect to get there. And that certainly could be useful if you were really doing a job search. Okay, the next operand or trick that we're going to learn is the asterisk. So look at this example. First of all, we put the whole thing in quotes because we're going to search for that as one piece, not as individual words. And notice how we say, how I earned asterisk a month. So what I'm searching for is, I'm searching for any kind of a website that says how I earned $1,000 a month, how I earned $250 a month, whatever. But I don't know how much it's going to, I don't know what websites I'm going to find the exact amount, so I'm searching it like this. So let's see what we get. Here we go. How I earned $800 a month. How I earned $3,000 a month. Okay. It's actually less than I thought, but it still gives you the idea. Okay. Now here's a second example of using the asterisk. Once again, notice I have the whole thing surrounded by quotes. And I put the asterisk, Governor asterisk runs for president. So that's going to be, hopefully I'm going to find some governor's name that is running for president right now. So let's see what I find. Chris Christie running for president, Rick Perry, Benjamin Korn, I guess he's a guy, Jeb Bush. So here we just found 3 governors that are running for president. If you wanted to find that sort of a thing, this is a really good way to search for it. Okay, the next trick that we're going to learn is the OR operand. So here we have Olympics 2008 or 2012. So what this is going to give us is any listing or any results that talk about the 2008 Olympics or the 2012 Olympics, but it shouldn't give us any other years. Let's see what we get. So here's the 2012 Olympics, 2008 Olympics, 2008 or 2012. So here's a 2012, so it gave us exactly what we wanted and what we expected. And here's another example of the OR operand. Here we have World Series in quotes, so we're searching for that exact phrase, Yankees or Mets. So this is going to tell us, so it should give us any World Series that has either one of those teams in it. And here we get the New York Mets, New York Yankees, and here's the Subway Series. For you baseball fans, you know that the Subway Series is the Mets versus the Yankees. Okay, here's the next trick, and that would be the double dot operand. So if you can see this, it says the Olympics 2004 ... 2012. So what this is going to give us is all the Olympic Games that have been played within those years. So let's see what we get. And here we go, 2012, 2010, 2008, 2006. So it gave us exactly what we had expected. And here's one more example of using the double dot. So here, I want to buy a laptop that's cost between $250 and $500. So I write laptop, $250, ... $500. Notice there are no spaces in between the dots. In general, that's what will drive newbies crazy when they search on Google, is if you put any spaces in between there, it just doesn't come out the way you think it should. So let's see what this does for us. Awesome. So the first thing it gave us is this here, which is, I don't think this is an advertisement. It doesn't say ad. So right away it gave us that. Now here's one for $300. Here's one here's one for $280. Here's one for $300. Here's one for $500. So it gave us exactly what we wanted. Laptops that are between $250 and $500, but it didn't give us anything that was less than $250 or greater than $500. And here's our last trick. It's the info operand. So here we say info : no space, Craigslist.org. So tell me some info about Craigslist.org, that website. So let's see what we get. It gives you a lot of info. So it gives you actually 5 different things. First of all, it shows you the cache. So this is how it looked the last time it actually cached it, how the website looked. Okay, it might look different today, and it shows you right here. This is the cache of Craigslist.org. It's a snapshot of how it appeared at this particular time. Okay, so this is interesting to do on your own website. You can see how often you're being indexed by Google. So if we come back, we go to websites similar to Craigslist. So it would be other websites where you could buy stuff. So what else did I have? Here, Backpage.com classified, eBay classified. So it showed you other websites that are just like Craigslist. Okay, so we come back here and we find the websites that link. So we already did that. That's the link operand. We saw that. And then there's a couple others down here which you may be interested in. You can try yourself. They're not that commonly used. Anyway, that should about cover it.